Hey Karu, it's Friday the 2nd of March. I just got done watching your video about the first day of the fast, and so I'll tell you what's been going on in my life today. So for starters, we got up early this morning, and the first day of fast, the Pendleton Baha'i community often has a breakfast, and traditionally it's been at Denny's. Sarah wanted to go to Sherry's instead, so we went up to Sherry's, and it was just Sarah and I and Virginia at 5 o'clock in the morning. But it was okay. So we had breakfast. I came back and dropped Sarah off. I went into work and worked out. I was done by 6:45, and I think the sun came up around 6:30. So I drank water while I was working out, but I stopped midway through. And I actually felt really good today. So I drank last night before I went to bed. I actually thought about hydrating a little bit more, which was good, and then so I wasn't particularly thirsty today, and then I hydrated in the morning. I ate early and then worked out, like I said. I work out. Girl, look at that body. So yeah, that felt pretty good. I guess at lunch, since I have an hour of lunch and nothing to do, I came home and Sarah and I went for our walk during lunch, which is good because Gareth has started tennis. So we can't really walk in the evenings because Gareth is at tennis, or when I get home from work anyway. And we'd have to take Taryn with us. And it's been kind of cold, a little chilly, so I haven't wanted to do that. So that was nice. Had a walk. Sarah put up another a novella, actually, this time, yesterday. And she sold 17 copies yesterday, which is pretty good. Or 19, I guess, on her first day. And it's the novella, actually. So the interesting thing about this is, so she put up her the Uninvited Guest, this medieval mystery, 3 weeks ago or something, and then right before she put it up, she was looking for something to do one day, and she was kind of looking through. She's got all these half-written things that she's worked on at various times, and she realized that she had this. There was this section from one of her time travel fantasy books that had been that she'd cut out because she felt like it didn't contribute directly to the plot advancement. It was a side story, and so she opened that up, and it was like 100 pages, and so she went through. Actually, it was like 60 pages. She went through and rewrote it, and ended up with about 100 pages. And she published it as a novella and called it "The Winds of Time," and made it really clear in the description that this happens between one section and the other section of the footsteps in time, and it's a story of what happens to Meg, how she gets back in time, back to wherever it is she's supposed to be. Anyway, and so and that had been in the original book, and I haven't read the updated version, but so she put it up, and it's another product. So she was successful in increasing her sales significantly by doing that. And the interesting thing is that time travel fantasy books are her best sellers, which is kind of funny because I think they're not as good as the other ones. The other ones appeal to me more, but yeah, people seem to like them. And she's got the fourth book in that series pretty much done. My mom is doing copy editing on it. So as soon as my mom's done with copy editing, and I'm going to read it and go through it and complain about it to her. And then she'll put that up too. So she'll have another book, probably, she's saying 2 months, but I kind of think it's going to be sooner than that. It depends on how quickly my mom can edit it. So, anyway, it's interesting stuff for us. Glad to hear about your workout regime. And by the way, I did know what a fartlek was, because when I was playing soccer, I can't remember if it was when I was playing for BMCC or before, there was a guy from Evergreen, but he told me it was German for a play on speed, fartlek. Anyway, he had devised, he'd adopted these workouts, and so I actually did a couple of them with him at that time. So I did it was a running thing where we did around the track, and it was, I can't remember now, a combination of sprints and jogs, and it was supposed to more closely replicate the types of activities you'd have on a soccer field. So yeah, I did know what a fartlek was, in spite of your smarminess, assuming I didn't, because I'm basically better educated than you. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah, so your workout sounds good. I'm glad. I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out. But it's kind of cool that you're varying things and trying different things. And I think the core things are probably good. Actually, it's interesting. My back has been sore the last couple of days, and I'm not sure it's because I've been spending a lot of time in this room sitting in this three-legged camp chair that I have right here, and it's starting to hurt my lower back. But my lower back, I get muscle tightness if I sit wrong or in the wrong position too long or do something weird, and it's fairly common for me to get that. And so I'm doing the stretching, which has made it better. And actually, since I've been working out, it's been less frequent over the last year and a half. But yeah, it still is a little annoying. Yeah, so the dog's name is Pip. That's good. Good to know, Pip. You were saying about our cats peeing on the nice new floor. You know what? As I said earlier in the video to Nikki, we've kind of given up. I mean, I've accepted that our beautiful new floor is a floor. It's a floor, meaning you walk on it, you get dirt on it, you are going to scuff it, and we try to be careful. We put all of the anti-scuffing things on the bottom of all our furniture, but I just kind of have to recognize the fact that Sarah and I are never going to be anal enough to keep it looking beautiful. That said, the cat already peed on it. Actually, but the interesting thing is, so this is what happened. Ron was working on stuff, and he'd had a bunch of stuff outside on the back porch. And we have all these cats around. And he brought in something that had been outside on the back porch, and it was actually just a piece of paper. And he put it on the floor in here, and the cat peed on the piece of paper. And I suspect there had been another cat sitting on that piece of paper at some point, and the cat wanted to block out the scent of that other cat. So, so what we found, that was the only time he peed, and so we actually caught it right away, so it didn't seep into the floor. The cat has coughed up hairballs on the floor a couple times, and I've been careful to clean those up quickly. But there's going to be, we have cats, and as much as I would like, I really like our cats. I enjoy spending time with them. They're very nice, they're very sweet, but I just am not going to miss them when they're gone. Maybe a little bit. I guess we have had them for like 14 years, 13 years now. It's probably like 14 years right now because, yeah, we got them from the midwife that delivered Gareth before he was a year old, I think. So, so yeah. What else? Oh, nice to see Duncan and Galen. You guys are doing well. Looking good, Duncan, like the headband. Oh, I took your advice and I purchased a couple hats, and I'll show them to you when they get here. I ordered them online. So we'll see how those work out. Yeah. What was else? Oh, the classical R&B Blues Brothers. That's pretty cool, actually. I would go see a Blues Buggers review, as the case may be. I would go see that, Duncan. I think that's pretty cool. I would definitely do that. I don't know if I told you I'm going to be one of the opening acts for a band last Thursday in March. So I'm thinking about emailing. I should probably do that right away. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. Emailing some other people who I've seen open mics to get them to maybe perform with me, because I think it would be fun if we could do something a little more complicated and a little more coordinated than what we've done in the past. So yeah, had a good week in work this week. Actually, we made some progress on a couple of things that that have been on our strategic plan horizon for some time. So I'm actually really excited about that. I think there's going to be some progress, and it's like a couple of things broke loose that have been stuck for a long time, which gives me some hope. And yeah, there were actually 3 kind of major things this week, which is not bad in a week of work, because there are 3 things that we've been talking about for years. So we'll see. It'll probably just get into another ice dam a little bit later, log jam, whatever you call it. But that's okay. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm clearly wandering here. But I did want to tell you that tomorrow Sarah and I are going to the Tri-Cities, taking Sarah's mother and putting her on a plane, and she is going to Australia for a month. And I am so jealous. I may have already mentioned this. So yeah, she's flying from Tri-Cities to San Francisco to LA to, I think, Hawaii, and then Australia. So she's in for a long trip. But she's going with Uncle Pete and Aunt Trish and Aunt Candy. And I think with Dad's brother, Uncle, can't remember his name, Bob, Ron, and, oh, come on. It's pathetic. He's such a nice guy. He's one of my favorite relatives. Anyway, Uncle Jack and Janet are going too, I think. So, yeah, I think they're going to have a good time. And I'm jealous. So we'll be driving up to the Tri-Cities, and I think Sarah and I are going to go looking for some travel clothes to take when we go to Wales. I will talk to you when I talk to you. Probably sometime when I'm parched and hungry. Till then, still dead.